Every Hornet down in Hornetville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch, who lived just north of Hornetville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart are bad debts. He stood there on Christmas week, hating Hornets, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm-lighted Main Street below in their town. For he knew every Hornet down in Hornetville beneath was busy now hanging mistletoe wreath. "And they're hanging their stockings," he said with a sneer. "Friday is Christmas, it's practically here." Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. "I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming." For on Christmas he knew all the Hornet girls and boys would wake up bright and early, they'd rush for their toys. And then, oh the noise, noise, noise. That's one thing he hated, the noise, 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 noise. Then the Hornets, young and old, would sit down to a feast. They'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Hornet pudding and rare Hornet beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Hornet down in Hornetville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Hornets would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Hornet Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, "I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how?" Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. "I know just what to do." And he chuckled and he clucked. "What a great Grinchy trick. With his coat and his hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer." The Grinch looked around, but since reindeers are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said, "If I can't find a reindeer, I'll catch one instead." So he found a deer booner, then he found some cherry paint, and he painted a red nose on his face without restraint. Then he loaded his stuff on a ramshackle cart with an old harpooner, and he hitched up Booner. Then the Grinch said, "Giddy up!" and the cart started down towards the stores where Hornets find the gifts in their town. All the windows were bright, soft music filled the air. All Hornets were all shopping sweet gifts without care. When he came to the first little store on Main Street, "This is stop number 1, the old Grinch Claus hissed, and he knocked on the door, mean spirit in his fist. On the Grinch went down Main Street, looking for places to cheat. He walked into Brews to destroy the place and knocked everything off the counter space. He wanted to rob the Hornets of their morning treats, but was kindly greeted with awesome, sweet, tasty eats. Perhaps joy could be stolen from a bank, the small-hearted, mean-spirited Grinch thought. He entered the first bank to steal gifts under the lit tree, but he was stopped at the door and given many things for free. A tad frustrated at Hornet kindness, delight, and love, the Grinch found another bank to go in and make fun of. He snuck by the drive-thru and into the lobby, straight for the cash to cover his gaming hobby. But the bank staff captured him before he could leave. Hornet bankers made it extremely hard to thieve. Santa surprised the Grinch with his own bag of cash, and the Grinch wondered whether his heart softened a splash. Then the Grinch schemed, "What if the Hornets don't have clothes to wear? They would be real cold as they walk down Main Street in the bear." The sly Grinch grabbed a rack of clothes and darted for the front door. But as he tried to leave, he was given a scarf from the store. The mean Grinch went to get Hornet Christmas gifts next. He grabbed some nice ornaments with cute cursive text. But once again, he was greeted with a smile and gentle care, and left the store with a bird, confused by how the Hornets share. "I wonder if Hornet insurance is easier to disrupt. I'll raise their premiums, and Hornetville will certainly erupt." But in this Hornet business, too, the Grinch couldn't cause a sad stir. In fact, the unexpected message he got made him want to purr. Surely the Hornet kids wouldn't be as kind as the adults in the town. The Grinch headed to the gym for one last chance to get these nice people down. He pushed his way to the front of the line, but no kids seemed to fret, and these kind kids let the Grinch jump up and down on the bouncy net. It was late in the day, so the Grinch headed home with Booner to his dark shack, thinking about the Hornet kindness all the way back. He went to destroy the Hornet Christmas joy with the Grinch's grouchy, nasty, evil ploy, but it was the Hornet spirit that gave him a different feel, and he wondered whether Hornet joy could really be that real. All of a sudden, Booner stilled, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a faint sound rising over the cropland. It started in low, then the noise began to grow quite grand. The sound wasn't sad. The sound sounded merry. It was merry very. He rushed down again to Hornetville. Every hornet down in Hornetville, the tall and the small, was singing without any concerns at all. They stood close together with Christmas bells ringing. They stood hand in hand, and the hornets were all singing. And what happened then? Well, in Hornetville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he danced in Hornetville, which was quite the fun sight.